During World War II, over 30 attempts were made to assassinate Adolf Hitler. 30! And yet, every single one failed. By chance, by bad timing, or by the kind of absurd luck that almost felt supernatural. But among those many plots, there was one that stands above the rest, not for its courage or precision, but for its sheer, breathtaking weirdness. Because this plan wasn't about killing Hitler at all. It was about embarrassing him to death. Yes, you heard that right. The mission wasn't to eliminate the dictator. It was to destroy his reputation. By 1942, the Allies had realized something important. Hitler, for all his cruelty, was a terrible strategist. His constant meddling, his arrogance, and his emotional decisions were ruining Germany's war effort from the inside. So, a small, eccentric group within American intelligence had a revelation. If Hitler was already helping the Allies by being incompetent, killing him might actually make things worse. What if, instead of replacing him with a smarter general, they simply made him look ridiculous? The plan was born: make Hitler appear weak, unstable, and absurd in the eyes of his own people, until even the Nazis stopped taking him seriously. To design such a plan, the US gathered psychologists, biologists, and military analysts to study Hitler's mind. They examined everything: his childhood, his fears, his insecurities. And one theme kept appearing: his obsession with masculinity. Hitler built his power on a carefully crafted image: the tough, disciplined, iron-willed man of destiny. That image was the third wife. So if that image cracked, his authority would crumble with it. And somewhere in that smoke-filled room of American intelligence officers, one man, whose name is thankfully lost to history, leaned forward and said, "If we can't kill him, maybe we can make him less of a man." At first, people laughed. Then someone said, "Wait, maybe he's right." The idea took hold. Psychological warfare had taken many forms: propaganda, fake broadcasts, forged letters. But this was something entirely new. The proposal: to secretly dose Hitler with female hormones so that, over time, his body would begin to change. His voice might soften, his moods might shift, his famous temper could turn hysterical. Rumors would spread. The Führer is losing his mind, or worse, his manhood. It would be, in their minds, the ultimate humiliation, the unraveling of the strongman myth from the inside out. And strangely enough, this wasn't just theory. By 1942, the United States had already developed concentrated estrogen compounds, nearly invisible and odorless, that could be administered through food. To Allied scientists, it seemed like the perfect weapon: slow, subtle, and devastating to Hitler's image. The next challenge was delivery. How do you get a hormone into the Führer's bloodstream without anyone noticing? After months of planning, the team identified a potential insider, one of Hitler's own gardeners, who tended the vegetables served at his private table. If he could be bribed to spray the hormone solution on the crops, Hitler would start ingesting tiny doses every day. The bribe was massive, a fortune that could buy safety and silence. The gardener hesitated, but the money spoke louder than fear. He agreed, or so they thought. In late 1942, the chemical was prepared, sealed, and smuggled through channels into Germany. Intelligence reports claimed the operation was underway. The social assassination of Adolf Hitler had officially begun. Weeks passed, then months. But Hitler showed no signs of change. He was still shouting in meetings, still obsessing over maps, still ordering armies into impossible battles. Whatever the Allies had done, it hadn't worked. And when the truth eventually came out, it was both hilarious and tragic. The gardener, the crucial link in the entire plan, had quietly taken the money and thrown the chemical away. He never used it. He simply pretended. The feminization plot that was supposed to end the war became one of the strangest footnotes in military history. A mission undone, not by failure, but by single man's self-preservation instinct. Still, the episode reveals something fascinating about the psychology of war. The Allies weren't just fighting armies, they were fighting myths. And in a world drowning in propaganda, destroying a myth could sometimes seem as powerful as destroying a man. But in the end, it wasn't hormones or bombs or plots that brought down Hitler. It was his own paranoia, his impossible ego, and his crumbling empire. The estrogen plan disappeared into classified archives, half forgotten until historians rediscovered it decades later, shaking their heads in disbelief. A real documented attempt to win World War II by tampering with Hitler's masculinity. It's absurd, it's darkly funny, and it's human. Because even in the middle of the world's greatest war, people were still trying to outsmart evil with imagination, even if that imagination went completely off the rails. So the next time someone tells you there's no such thing as a bad idea, remember this. Once upon a time, a room full of brilliant men genuinely thought they could end World War II by turning Adolf Hitler into a national joke.